Like we don't know, like it has around like 2 to 3% of a chance typically for anything like a recessive gene or some type of birth defect happening. Compared to first cousins, even it's about 4 to 6%. So there's about like a 1 to 2% chance higher that like there is a birth defect even with first cousins compared to like a normal couple. The issue only presents or starts happening is when it happens for generations on generations. That's why if we take like an isolated study and a cousin and another cousin, even first cousins, were to reproduce, there wouldn't be actual issues unless they did it for generations on generations. So I don't think the birth defect thing is even an issue with like if it's the first case.
No, you misread that information.
We can pull it up.
It actually it increases by a measure of 4 to 6%, which means it doubles the baseline, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So if it's 2 to 3% outside that, and then 4 to 6%, that means the risk is roughly doubled.
Yeah, I
That's
get
a significant difference.
No, it's not significant because generally it's low as well. Even if you double it, it's still very low. 1% doubled to 2% is still low, right? So again, I'm not denying it's doubled. Obviously, the high end is going to be doubled compared to 6 and 3 versus like if you're like 2 to 3%. All I'm saying is that's still considerably low in like having actual defects.
No.
The major issues happen.
That's not a low percentage.
Low.
That's when we're talking about birth defects, that's a pretty high percentage.
4% is low compared to something like outrageously high, like if you take like mother and son, which is I think like 10, 30 years.
Okay, well, having an extreme comparison, right, doesn't
what's
make
the threshold then?
cousins okay.
Okay,
right?
no problem. What's the threshold for doing too much? Because we can have people have conditions like medical conditions.
It sounds like you're muffled, like moving your phone around. It's hard for me to hear you.
Oh, no problem. Let me try to fix my phone real quick. Is it better? My phone's like on the ground. So.
Much better.
Yeah, no problem.
Much better.
Yeah, there's medical conditions where recessive genes and birth defects are going to be higher if that person reproduces. So what's the threshold for where this is too much for it to be morally wrong?
Well, I would say you'd want to minimize as much as you can, right?
Of course, we can say
so if we know that once you get out to like third and fourth cousins, that those risks are completely removed, I'd say that would be the threshold, right? Like everything you can do to try to improve the outcome for your prospective young, you should do.
Yeah, that's fine, right? But what I'm saying is that that's still not giving a threshold. Even with third cousins and fourth cousins, it's not 0%. So what I'm saying is,
the increase is 0%. So you're not increasing the likelihood.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm saying
birth defects at third and fourth cousins.
Yeah, that's not.
So that's the threshold.
When I say it's not 0%, what I'm saying is okay. So if it's above the norm, it's wrong. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying everything you can do to minimize the likelihood of birth defects in your young, you should do. So if the question is, does smoking increase the possibility of birth defects? We all know the answer is yes.
Yes.
So should you smoke with it when you're pregnant? The answer is no, right? Because you should do everything you can do to reduce the likelihood of birth defects in your child.
Yeah, I don't think that exists for all possible cases. Because if we have a case where someone has a medical condition, well, their birth defects will be higher. Is it immoral for another person to date them and reproduce? They can choose to not date them and not reproduce with them, which would lower the chances of their own child having less birth defects or having a lower chance.
Sorry.
Yeah, so if we have a case, let's say person A and B. Person A has a medical condition where is going to have a higher likelihood of their child having a birth defect. Would it be wrong for another person to date them when they can choose not to and lower that risk?
I wouldn't say it would be wrong, but I would apply the inverse. I would say if this person, like me, for example, like I know I was born with issues that I could pass to a child, and for that reason, I've chosen not to have children. I would not say that avoiding that situation would be immoral. I wouldn't tell somebody that, hey, you cannot date that person because it's likely that your children are going to have birth defects. But I, for myself, would avoid that scenario.
Yeah, that's fine. We can say both, like avoiding is fine, but also you would agree not avoiding it is also fine, correct?
No, I wouldn't say fine. I would not tell someone that it's immoral.
When I use fine,
Right. So like if you wanted to date your cousin, like there are countries where
yeah, that doesn't.
consanguineous marriage is the way of the land, right?
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
they test to check and make sure that, hey, let's find out if we're putting our potential child at risk. And I think that's a responsible thing to do. I think it would be more responsible to not marry your first cousin.
Yeah, so would you call it immoral?
Because you're aware of the
cousin?
issues. Say again?
Would you say it's immoral to marry your first cousin?
No, I'd say it's irresponsible.
What's the distinction you're making here?
That they're so immoral would be me passing a moral judgment. Let me try to nail that down for you so I can really say it eloquently. Give me just a moment to really consider what words I want to use.
No problem.
Here, the distinction I would make is I'm not going to stop you from doing it, but I would encourage you to make a better decision. Immoral, I would say, is we should stop it, right? Irresponsible is I'm not going to stop you, but I think you can make a better choice.
Okay, so you wouldn't say... So, okay, you would just say if it's immoral, we ought to, like, stop that thing from happening, but irresponsible or something we probably shouldn't do is just like a personal choice. Is that the distinction you're making?
Yeah, I think that's closer. Yeah, like I would take action to stop something. If I saw something that was happening that I thought was immoral, I would try to stop it. If I saw something happening that's irresponsible, I'm going to sit here and say, well, that's irresponsible. If I saw somebody getting a face tattoo, I think that's irresponsible, but it's not immoral, right? Okay. I think you can make better choices with your life, and I wouldn't do that for myself, but I'm not going to tell you can't get a face tattoo, right? We all know the risks involved with getting a face tattoo. We're all aware of it. We all know there's a better choice, but, you get to make your choice.
All right, brother, no problem. That was a nice conversation.
Are you a fucking retard, bro? Like, dead ass, bro. What? Bro, you're making people look fucking... What is this shit, bro? Like,
what's wrong with cousin marriages? Is it immoral?
It's fucking... Yes, bro.
What's
it's some retard inbred shit.
What's wrong with it?
What do you mean, what's wrong with it? That's your family, bro.
Justify it, moron.
Bro, free Palestine in the bio. Why the fuck you making people that want? Bro,
this is why I like. Argument? Are you too retarded to give an argument?
Bro, this is why I fucking.
Are you too retarded to give an argument? You have a dead man as your PFP, bro. Get the fuck off my live, like. Oh, bro, be the people with the Charlie Kirk PFP too. Free Palestine, of course, free Palestine. It always be the white people. Yo, what are we doing, man? Yeah, my live might get taken down because of that guy. I might have to end this right now. What are you doing, my man? It's a good take. Like, anyways, I'm gonna end this. I'll start this again in like